In this video, I want to share with you a little earnings strategy. And so we're going to go through in the stock market, and then I'm going to show you how we can kind of adjust this and do it in the futures market as well. So I want to show you the earnings strategy first, which is of course over in the stock market. And what you're seeing here, this is just the S&P, and this is track and trade. And I'm going to show you how we're going to go out, get our earnings information, bring it into track and trade, do our calculations, and set up our trades for the earnings. All right, now this is not going to be an earnings play of an anticipation of good earnings. We're going to wait until after earnings are over and we find out which stocks have actually had good earnings and are actually rallying. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to go through and find our earnings. So I'm going to jump over here, and I'm just going to use I've got Yahoo up here, so we're just going to use the Yahoo calendar. And I like the Yahoo calendar because it goes back in time. It'll show you the earnings for past history, and some earnings calendars don't do that. They just show you from today forward. They think that history is bygones be bygones, but this is what we want to look at. We want to see the history. So today is the 8th of June. All right, so I'm doing this recording on the 8th of June, and there's 23 earnings. We don't want to have anything to do with those guys, because we don't know if they're going to be good. Some of them are after markets, some of them before markets, some of them during markets. So we don't want to play that game. We want to come to the ones that were yesterday or even the day before yesterday. We could do June, we could do the Monday ones, but we're going to do the Tuesday ones here. And as you can see, there were 25 earnings in here, and I'm just going to select them all. You can see I'm just going to grab all those. I'm going to highlight them just like that, and I'm going to go Control C. So Control C in Microsoft means Control Copy, and we're going to take those over, and then I'm going to come over to my Excel spreadsheet and pull up my Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to drop those in there. Control V for paste, and there they are. They're all on the in my Excel spreadsheet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab them and highlight this first column. And the reason I'm doing this is because it just makes it easier to copy and paste them. You can type all those into Track and Trade if you want to, but Track and Trade has the ability to import these. So I'm just going to highlight that first column of all of the symbols. Control C again for copy, and then I'm going to go into Track and Trade. So we're going to switch back over here to Track and Trade, and I'm going to go into my Charts tab. Actually, I want to use the watch list first because I'm going to use it to help me sort these out. So we're going to go into the watch list, and I'm going to create I'm going to rename, actually this just says watch list 1. We're going to rename this over to earnings for, and this is 6/7/22. So for yesterday, we're going to just Control V right here in this window. I'm going to put the cursor in there where we put in the symbols, Control V, and you'll notice that pastes them all in there, comma separated. So if you just were to type those in, you could type in the symbols, comma separated, but if you copy and paste them in, comma separated, it does it for you. So now we hit add to watch list, and those are the earnings from yesterday. So what I want to do is now I want to sort and find the ones that are making money today. So out of the ones that are making money today, none of these are making money today, so they're not good earnings. So we only want the ones that are making money today. There's 4 of them, all right? So also volume, that one's really low volume, only 80,000 shares. It's traded hands. Let's dump that one too. We don't want that one. This one here, 600,000 shares. It's $3.92. I generally like to have some at least $5, but that's okay. We'll do $3.92. We'll go take a look at it, right? So now what I've got is I've got my 3 stocks that I want to look at from the earnings yesterday. So we're going to come into our charts tab, and again in my portfolio, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to delete out the SPY. I don't need that one, and I'm going to rename this portfolio to earnings, just like I have over in the watch list. I'm going to get the exact same name. So now I have in the watch list I have 6/7/22. In the charts I have 6/7/22. So I'm going to come to the watch list, highlight all 3 of these, shift, and then that highlights all 3 of them, and then click. So then I right click and say open charts. It's going to open all 3 of those charts for me automatically. It switches tabs, brings them over here into the charts tab. Now I have all 3 of those open. All right, it's given me a daily chart on each one. I can see that each one rallied nicely. I've got the bulls and bears on, so we're coming up out of the green, and we've got nice earnings on each one of these yesterday, so they're making money. So I'm going to come down here to the 15-minute chart now. So I'm going to come down to 15 minutes, and I'm just going to open up a 15-minute chart on each one of these. Now, we're going to play a little 1% game. This is called the 1% game, and we're going to come over to our trading tab, and you can see that in this is, of course, my demo account, and I've got $56,000 in the demo account. So in the demo account, 1% is roughly $500. So I'm going to come back over here to each individual chart, and you can do this. The nice thing about this, you can do this with a small account below 25,000. Okay, so we're going to do it on the 15-minute chart. We're going to do it towards the end of the day because we don't want to do a day trade if we got less than $25,000 in our account. We don't want to get caught with the pattern day trading rules. So we like to do this at the end of the day. I like to do it generally 15 minutes before the market closes. And we're going to come in here, put our position on, and then if the market falls against us tomorrow, we'll just get stopped out with a loss. Now we can play the 1% game. So we're going to come in here, and 1% is what we're going to risk. Okay, so we're going to risk 1% to get into this market. So we grab our dollar calculator, we go to where the market's currently trading, we go to the low of today, which is here. You can go to the yesterday's low, but I like to just go to today's low. If it breaks today's low, we're going to get out. And you can see that it's $3.84 for, and then on my preferences, I have that dollar calculator set to quantity 1. But since we're going to do the 1% rule, we can go up to $500. So we're going to run that up to $500. Now, depending on the size of your account, you may be doing $50, you may be doing $10, whatever you attribute to the size of your account if you want to play the 1% rule. So 1% for us in this case is 131 shares. So we're going to put our stop. The idea here is that we're going to now put in 131 shares. So we're going to come in here and trade, and we're going to put in 131 shares. So 131 shares, I can just go right up here and go 131 shares right there. So that's going to be a $4,537 investment. Okay, now I'm not going to risk $4,537. I'm going to risk $500. So in this case, we could come in here. Now we're going to say, okay, we're going to buy the market. And so we buy the market. We've now got 131 shares or $4,500 investment in GDS holdings. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to place a stop for the exact same amount right where we calculated our $500 risk. So we're going to put that in there at $500. And now this market we're in with $4,537, but we're risking $500 or 1% of our account. So if this market turns around tomorrow and comes down and stops us out, well, we'll get stopped out with a $500 loss or 1% of our position. But if not, we'll have 131 shares going long in this market that had good earnings and is continuing to rally and grow today and yesterday, as you can see. So this is a good strategy for that. If $500 is too much for you, skinny it down. Let's go do another one. Let's come in here and we'll go to GTLB. Let's go into this one and let's come into our dollar calculator, and we're just going to risk back to today's low, which is right in here. And we're going to come in here to preferences. Let's say I only want to risk on this one, I only want to risk $100. All right, so we just come in here. I don't want to risk a full 5%. I just wanted to risk $100. So we'd run that dollar calculator up to see how much $100 would be. Right there, it'd be 37 shares. So if we're going to put our stop below today's low, and we're going to get in on the close of the business today and anticipate a rally tomorrow, a continuation of this earnings trend, then we would risk $100 or 37 shares. And so now we're going to come in here to our trading tab, and we're going to come in here and we're going to put in 37 shares, and there's 37 shares. That would be $1,912 would be our investment, and we're going to risk $100. So we just go ahead and we hit buy. We're in the market. We're going to put our stop in here right behind yesterday's low where we calculated, and there's our risk of $100. Now, you say, well, maybe $100 is too much, so let's go do one more. We'll do the final one in here. We'll do SPAX. Now, it's coming back against us hard. It had a nice rally today. If we look at the daily chart, you can see it had a big rally. It's pulled back a little bit, but it's based on an earnings play where apparently it had good earnings. So we're going to anticipate a continuation of this uptrend tomorrow. So these are our profit takers in here for day trading. We'll anticipate maybe we'll get another continuation on this trend tomorrow. So we don't want to really take a $500 risk. Maybe we don't want to take a $100 risk. So we can come in here, we'd run our dollar calculator up there from the low of today up to where it's currently trading. And we're going to come into preferences, and we're going to take a $50 risk in this case. So now we're going to run this up to find out where $50 is. There's $50. 114 shares would be $50. So now we're going to come over here to our trading tab, and we're just going to put in here 114. So we got to come up here, and we'll just add in there 14 more. So there's 114, which would be a $438 investment. All right. So now we come in here, we hit buy market. We're in the market with 114 shares. We're going to put our stop for 114 right back here below the low of today. And that is our $50 risk. Okay, so there we go. That's how we would do this on an earnings play. Now let's take this same concept over and let's do it in the futures market. So if we take it over and do it in the futures market, I'm going to just pull up track and trade. This is my track and trade futures version. And we can do the same thing. We can come in here and say, well, okay, the market's starting to rally. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to draw my dollar calculator from where it's currently trading back to the low of this trend. That's $39. In this case, let's come in here to our preferences. And we're going to run this up. How much are we willing to risk? Maybe we're willing to risk $100. That would be 3 contracts. So we come in here, we go 3 contracts, and we do the same thing. We buy the market 3 contracts. We put our stop back below where we calculated, and there's our risk. We're going to risk $117 for a profit potential of, and we can do a risk calculation, do our Fibonacci projections, and try and figure out where we anticipate that market going and see what our risk versus reward ratio might be. But this is another way of coming in and saying, figuring out how much you're willing to risk or how much you're willing to put on the line to find out if that market's going to continue in your favor. And so that's just a quick example of how I like to do my earnings plays. And if you would like me to help you set this up in your software, here's the link right here on the screen to my calendar, my online calendar. Set up a free bull session and I'll help you set this up, and we'll make this happen for you too.